the soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brandsource Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Wednesday, the first day of December 2021, right here in the Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who stay up a little later than usual, you would have been privy to some news, or some of you may have known it long before the meeting even started, but it appears as if, and I say it appears because I still am a little bit confused, but it appears as if former Minister for Health, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, will be joining the PACT government. And the reason I say it appears is because we'll talk more about that later. It just appears that I don't want to jump right into too many things at one time. So, hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening as well. I think I said that already. Yes, Ms. Susan, thank you. For those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember that the life you save may be your own. And during the course of the show today, I want to share with you an article in the Jamaica Gleaner about driving. And because many jurisdictions, even those supposedly first world ones, you're having road rage and other issues, and so many people who perish in motor vehicle accidents on the roads. And this article is entitled Mental Stability, the Driver and Driving. And I'm going to share that with you because I think it's extremely important for us here in the Cayman Islands as well. Also, those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and of course that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. Those of you who are at home, either in quarantine or isolation, we hope that you are soon relieved from that situation. Those of you who may be ill and are either at home or at a medical facility, we also wish you a speedy recovery as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Art Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Again today, the beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson, your star and favorite radio announcer on Radio Cayman, is waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261. And, of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Firstly, let me share with you the COVID-19 update that was issued yesterday, the 30th of November at 8 a.m. And at that time, Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee reported that 716 PCR tests had been conducted since 8 a.m. on Monday, the 29th of October. Public Health Department reported 161 positive results from these tests, all coming from the community. These results brought the number of active cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands to 3,936. I repeat, right? That additional 161 positive results from PCR tests brought the number of active cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands to 3,936 as of 8 a.m. yesterday. Total number of cases recorded since the start of the pandemic stood at 7,235 as at the same time. Also, the release goes on to say that up to this point, 3,985 people in the Cayman Islands were in isolation, either in government isolation facilities or at home. There were 20 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in the Cayman Islands at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, the 30th of November. Public Health Department also confirmed that up to 8 a.m. on Tuesday, the 30th of November, there had been 1,904 total positive lateral flow tests since the introduction of the lateral flow test program in the Cayman Islands, which are also included in the total positive numbers, as well. So, sharing that with you as far as the COVID-19 results are concerned. Ms. Susan, if I can impose on you, if we can take the commercial break now, because I want to share this article about drivers and driving. I think it is extremely important, especially now with the holiday season coming up as well. So, folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Ali Osman Ebanks, Sr., 1891-1974. Captain Ali, like most Caymanian men of his age, had to earn a living early. He was fortunate enough to have acquired various skills from cooking to railroad building, but his love of the sea led him to be employed with Thompson Enterprises of Key West, Florida, as captain of a turtling schooner, the A.M. Adams. The August 1943 National Geographic featured a now famous article by photojournalist David Douglas Duncan that chronicled one of the journeys of Captain Ali and his crew. Duncan's photographs remains one of the finest records of the life led by Caymanian turtle fishermen during this time. Captain Ali employed many of his fellow Caymanians on his schooner, helping to develop their skills as sailors. On his retirement from sea, Captain Ali supported seafaring Caymanians by operating a ship-to-shore radio from his home that enabled their families to remain in contact with them. Captain Ali was a manager of the West Bay Presbyterian Church, now John Gray Memorial, and gave generously to the church and his community throughout his life.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Had a look at those investment options yet?
Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Make your house into a home Welcome to Brandsource Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brandsource Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. We will open up the phone lines after the 8 o'clock news because I want to share this important article with you about driving. We see so many accidents here in the Cayman Islands. We know some of it is attributed to the fact that people just simply don't know how to drive. I will also attribute some of that to the fact that we do not have a robust enough driving examination that is given. It is too easy for persons to get a driver's license, and if we believe that simply because of the lack of a network of roads in the Cayman Islands, where our speed limits are 40 miles an hour, 50 miles, maybe in some areas, that other than that, we can get away with the mediocre driving that we see in the Cayman Islands. That is not the case because we see so many accidents. So this is an article in the Jamaica Gleaner. The contributor to that article, the writer, Paul Glenroy Messam. And this was published in Sunday's Jamaica Gleaner. Mental Stability, the Driver, and Driving. And it starts out by asking the question, are we always in the right frame of mind to drive a vehicle? Goes on to say that when a motorist slips behind the wheel of a motor car, he automatically becomes a vital part of this complex but useful machine. If the driver is both physically and mentally prepared and ready for the road, the vehicle will perform at its peak. So you have to be physically, mentally prepared, but you also have to have the skills for driving. I'll add that to it. You have to have the skills, the driving skills as well. And further on, it talks about that. Goes on to say the key to the entire operation of defensive driving and that motor vehicle is the driver. And that is a quote given by Dr. Wendell Abel, consultant psychiatrist. According to Dr. Bell, driving is essentially an activity of the mind, but additionally, our bodies are also important as they translate the impulses of our thoughts as we meet and deal with the many challenges on the roads. And he's speaking about Jamaican roads in this particular case. Goes on to say, the artist says, a driver who sits tall in the saddle, alert, head up, and hands on the wheel, immediately creates an impression of being in control. Fatigue arrives very quickly when muscles are taut. Therefore, every effort should be made to remain physically relaxed while being mentally alert. And that is stress. And the article goes on to say that it was Robert Benoit, a French Grand Prix driver in the 1920s and 1930s, who embraced the view that the stability of the car depends on the personal stability of the driver. And of course, if you get ahead and if you are under the influence of alcohol, that is also going to be reflected in your driving. The article goes on to say a person without excellent reflexes and a person with a wandering mind or poor physical coordination can be a dangerous driver. Folks, we have many of those on the roads of the Cayman Islands. Says a driver should be able to translate reflex action into correct physical action. For example, stepping on the brakes, turning the wheel, maneuvering a corner, and so on. Reflexes are of little value in defensive driving unless they are supported by experience and discretion. And we see a lot of inexperience on the roads of the Cayman Islands, my words as well. Goes on to say, motorists should bear in mind that going beyond normal physical capabilities, the matter of adaptability to safe driving becomes extremely important each day we drive on the roads. With today's fast cars and heavy traffic congestion in regular hours, especially when rain falls, mental stability of any driver is of paramount importance. And according to one expert at the University of the West Indies, there are various drivers on our roads, some with challenges, others with a certain mindset. Therefore, drivers need to be purposeful and intentional to diffuse any road rage situation. Our drivers must be calm while using a kind word or a decent gesture which could save someone from himself or from others. Article goes on to say that our driving ability varies from day to day in relation to one's culture and lifestyle. For example, Mr. X, who had a spat with his spouse, just zooms off to work. Driver Y, who is in mourning, is on the way to a funeral. Neither of these two persons could be described as being in a settled frame of mind. Mr. X, who had a quarrel, may take out his anger and frustration by driving more aggressively. The mourner may find that his grief has distracted him completely from his safe driving. And Dr. Abel points out that this change from their normal attitude will affect their driving. And I'm going to add to that as well. If you're trying to do your help your child do their homework on their way to school while you're driving, you're distracted as well. Or if you're trying to put your makeup on while driving, and we've heard stories about that as well. So here's the advice to drivers. Because of the need to be alert and attentive when driving or riding should be considered. The first observation, one observation, look around for other road users and pedestrians. 2, anticipation, look ahead and give yourself enough time to react to hazards. And I'm going to pause there for a second. That means that you don't tailgate. You don't stay right on the rear end of the driver who is in front of you. Concentration, be alert at all times when driving or riding. I always say that when you're out there in a vehicle driving, that is a full-time job in itself. You do not have time to look around to see which car is going in the opposite direction. Someone honks their horn to greet you on the road, which should not be done as well. Horns are used to alert people, not to greet, as well. My words again. Also talks about awareness. Understand the actions of other road users. Distraction. Do not become distracted while driving. Your attention must be on the road. Boredom. This could make you feel sleepy. Keep your mind on your driving. Now, like I said before, in the Cayman Islands, it's not like you have the ability to drive for hundreds and hundreds of miles and for hours upon hours. Our problem here in the Cayman Islands seem to be persons not having the skill to operate a motor vehicle, not having the proper training to operate a motor vehicle. Tell me, here's a big question for you. How many driving schools, those that give driving instruction, do you see giving driving lessons at night? So, if you learn to drive during the course of the day and you're out there at night and you don't know where the dip switch, and I'll tell you what a dip switch is. It's the one that adjusts the high beam and the low beam on your car. The high beam is used to increase your visibility. It should not be used to blind other drivers coming in the opposite direction. But how do you learn to dim your lights when it is necessary or to brighten them when it's necessary if you only learn to drive during the course of the day? That's like in countries where you have winter and you have snow. You may have heard this before. I taught driving in New York as a part-time job while going to school. There were days when snow was on the road. Those were days that I went out there and I taught people how to drive because they needed to know how to drive in snow as well as how to drive when the roads are simply dry. My question again, it may be rhetorical, but how many persons actually learn to drive at night? Folks, the situation on the roads of the Cayman Islands as far as driving is concerned, it is dire. It is a pandemic of sorts, and it needs to be addressed. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we're going to talk about the big meeting in Bordentown last night and the crossing or non-crossing of the floor at our Parliament. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Conner. And studio time now by Foster's is 7:59.
Have you got everything sorted for the party?
I sure do. Venue's booked, invites have been sent, and catering hasn't been ordered.
Don't stress. I always order my catering from Foster's, and they have a new menu packed with everything from wings and empanadas to Vietnamese lettuce wraps, a build-your-own taco platter, along with vegan and gluten-free options.
And for something sweet, I'll order a cake from Foster's Bakery. Done.
Plus, it's super easy to order everything online. Just go to fosters.ky/catering. Foster's. Better catering because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
Do you know how well your pension plan performed? Attend the Chamber Pension Plan's annual general meeting to stay informed and find out how you can achieve your desired retirement lifestyle. Members are invited to meet our trustees and take part in our question and answers segment on 1st December 2021 at 6:30 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce Boardroom in Governors Square. Refreshments will be served. Please visit our website chamberpension.ky or email admin@pensions.ky for further details. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Bontown East Member of Parliament Dwayne John Seymour held a public meeting Tuesday night to ask voters to support a move from the Progressives-led opposition to the PACT-led government.
We have a functioning government who is beckoning me to come over and offer the experience I have that can assist the group. They want me for my talents and energy that I offer the people of Bordentown East. This is quite humbling to know that I am the type of elected MP that you chose, and all of the sides want to have me with them. Ladies and gentlemen, you made a good choice.
With a number of PACT government ministers in attendance, Mr. Seymour says he is honored the PACT government has offered him an opportunity to utilize his expertise and experience.
Tonight, the seed has been planted once again in Bordentown. Give John your support.
He is an independent thinker, and he puts Bordentown East first before any other political association, and I respect him for that.
Bordentown East
I'm here tonight to beg you to send John John. John John is a worker.
Give the man your support to come along and join the PAC government and be a part of a government that's working hard for the benefit of the people of the country, and the people of Boddentown East will get the benefit of that.
If he makes the move, Mr. Seymour will be working with several ministries, including transport, agriculture, and labor. Make sure to head over to our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, later this morning to hear the proceedings live in Parliament to find out Mr. Seymour's final decision. Leader of the opposition, the Honourable Roy McTaggart, says, quote, I'm grateful for the time Mr. Seymour spent as minister with the Progressives-led coalition government from 2017 to 2021 and as a member of the opposition following the 2021 elections. He goes on to say he considers Mr. Seymour a friend and wishes him well. 161 positives for COVID-19, all community cases. That's according to the Public Health Department, which reports the number of active cases of COVID-19 at 3,936 as of 8 a.m. on Tuesday. This brings the total number of cases recorded since the start of the pandemic in the Cayman Islands to more than 7,200. 3,985 people are in isolation as of Tuesday morning. 20 patients are in the hospital. 82% of the population has received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. 79% of the estimated population is fully vaccinated. And it was graduation day for John Gray High School students, albeit one with limits because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's my absolute pleasure to address this outstanding class of 2021. I know this is not the graduation we had all hoped for, especially after having to hold our Year 11 leaving ceremony those years ago online, but I'm so grateful to the government, the ministry and the Department of Education for the opportunity for us to celebrate with the students in person and give you the opportunity to walk the stage this evening, because this is your education and your high school diploma.
Principal John Clark says because of COVID crowd limits, families were not able to attend in person, but the ceremony was live streamed on the school's Facebook page, providing an opportunity to participate and leave encouraging messages for students. Head boy Quincy Ebanks highlighted the unique experiences of the class of 2021.
Who could have imagined that we would be told to remain 6 feet away from each other? If you ask me, this pandemic real bad mind. Well, guys, we have shown our community that we like being first, and that despite the ultimatums the pandemic has given us, we have places to go, and we refuse to wallow and cry over the last we missed. We will take our firsts and go.
Mr. Ebanks says as a result of the pandemic, he and his classmates have become more tech-savvy, more resilient, and more appreciative of the simple things like fresh air and hanging out with friends. The ceremony included a number of presentations and awards. You can catch it all online at the John Gray High School Facebook page. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. Countries around the world are stepping up anti-coronavirus measures as they try to assess the threat posed by the Omicron variant. In Germany, the rollout of vaccines for children between 5 and 11 years old has been brought forward. In Britain, the health minister urged people to book booster shots. Several countries have tightened travel restrictions to try to contain Omicron. Member states of the World Health Organization have agreed to start work on a pact to prevent and control future pandemics. Negotiations will focus on issues including whether to give the WHO additional powers to investigate new viruses and whether vaccine sharing and patient waivers should be automatic. That's the latest BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
Do you know how well your pension plan performed? Attend the Chamber Pension Plan's annual general meeting to stay informed and find out how you can achieve your desired retirement lifestyle. Members are invited to meet our trustees and take part in our question and answers segment on 1st December 2021 at 6:30 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce Boardroom in Governors Square. Refreshments will be served. Please visit our website chamberpension.ky or email admin@pensions.ky for further details. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 78 degrees. Relative humidity is 83%. The barometric 0.4 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 75 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate northeasterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a high-pressure system over the southern United States. Satellite images show a few clouds over the Cayman area that are drifting towards the southwest. Now the forecast for today calling for fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of morning showers, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight. Fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. We're presently at a high tide, and the next low tide will be this afternoon at 1:47 and a high tide again tonight at 6:50. The sun will set this evening at 5:45 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:44. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Each Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m.
The Tuesday and Thursday edition of The Business Buzz is brought to you by Optical Outlook. Visit them at their new location in Anderson Square. Telephone 746-2020. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, have a deadline. Procrastination is common in human nature. Setting a time to review the work helps to increase motivation because you know that you have to have it done by a certain time. This also ensures that you slow down to review progress. Consider rewards if things are going well. If things are not going as well as you would like, a deadline gives you a chance to pause and reflect on the current goal to see if there may be something getting in the way of being able to get it done.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. On-Course Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Top of the morning to you. Let's take a look at traffic. I know you need a lot of patience if you're coming from the east, as traffic is extremely heavy on the Linford Pearson Highway and busy traffic coming off of Agnes Way. And busy traffic heading to Georgetown on Cool Road and heading east on Cool Road. Traffic is moving along pretty good. Moderate flow of traffic in both directions on Godfrey Dixon Way and Eastern Avenue. No issues on Owen Roberts Drive as traffic is light. Light traffic as well on Edward Street. And traffic flowing at a good pace on Shedden Road. Coming from the Westway 4-way stop, expect moderate flow of traffic. Have you seen accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads? Give us a call here at Radio Cayman 949-6990. Have a good morning and click it or ticket.
Are you planning a social, an office party, or event over the holiday season? Make the most of your holiday party and leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway Box to Go with the option of a 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. Cater your holiday parties with Subway. Visit subway.ky for menu options. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
You can now register online to receive a securely verified digital copy of your COVID-19 vaccination status with QR code through the My HSA patient portal. Sign up is available online and at all HSA locations. All you need is your photo ID showing date of birth and an email address. Visit hsa.ky and click the My HSA patient portal icon to get started.
With Logic, you get more things you do want, like faster fiber internet, more TV, entertainment, and better customer service. And you get less of the things you don't want, like waiting, boredom, and disappointment. More of the good, less of the bad. It just makes sense. Or should I say, it's logical. See what I did there? Call us or go to logic.ky to find out how you could be getting way more of what's good.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Orit Connor continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we're going to have open line for you all morning, right up until 10 o'clock. I want to share as much with you as possible. We know school graduations taking place as well. And I'd like to acknowledge the family of Miss Haley Chamont, Miss Haley Chamont, on her John Gray High School graduation last night, and this coming from her dad, Philip, brothers RJ and Malachi, sister Sarah, and the rest of the family. So congratulations to Haley Chamont on her graduation last night. So it's coming from all of the family members, your dad Philip, brothers PJ and Malachi, sister Sarah, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and the rest of the family as well. And they're saying that may God bless and guide you as well. And I'll just add this part. I hope and I trust that that individual and as many as possible will choose to continue their studies, go on to tertiary education as well, if that is what you want to do. But, you want to follow your own dreams as well. We have two callers. Let's go to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Ossie.
Good morning. How are you?
Probably not as good as you, but I'm doing all right.
Okay, good.
Ossie, about the remarks you made about the traffic, the driving in this country, I couldn't agree with you more, because you see it every day and I see it every day. And, it kind of makes you wonder if anything will ever change, because the driving schools are letting the student drive in the fast lane instead of getting over to the left-hand side and let the traffic flow freely.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing that. They just think that, they own the road, they can do whatever they want to do. And this is part of the problem, that what you say is absolutely right, because the majority of these people should not be on the road driving, because they have no experience. They have no, what's that word? God, I can't think of it right. But, God, I'll think of it in a minute. But that was what I call, they have no reflexes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to look for. They have no reflexes or nothing like that. But, see, that was just a comment on the remarks that you made. But my call this morning is, so I want to thank the governor for what he is doing to this country, and that I have experienced from to the time that he's been here. I know he's a UK appointee, and he have an obligation to the UK government, or the Queen, should you say. There's something about this gentleman that, throughout all of the other governors, that I can feel free to say that, I think this man got this country at heart, and I hope that he gets another 4 years, and I hope when that is up, he'll decide to be a part of us and live down here with us, because, like I said, something about this gentleman that, I really respect and appreciate the love he has for the country and the people of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he has, as he indicated before, he has been given an additional year. That is normally what they will give. And talking about living amongst us afterwards, I believe at one point in time there may have been an unwritten rule that once you have served as governor that you normally wouldn't reside here after. And of course, we know the case with, I think it was Alan Scott who had planned on returning, but then the next government that came into power sent, reportedly sent a message to him and said, don't even think about, returning to the Cayman Islands. Of course, we know the Cumber family, they resided here and continue to reside here as well. But there has been an unwritten rule for that. So number one, he has one additional year. And number two, whether or not that unwritten rule about residency is still in play.
Well, all about the human rights, whether you're appointed the Crane, it's all about human rights. He should be able to retire any part of the country he wants, whether he was serving as a diplomat or a governor or whatever the case may be. He should be able to have that right if you're talking about human rights.
Well, but only if, remember now, unless the cabinet and the legislature were prepared to grant him Caymanian status, he would have, other than that, he would have to apply for residency on his own, or if if the UK decides at some point in time that this whole issue of citizenship is going to be reciprocal, and the same way that we in the Cayman Islands are allowed to go and live and work in the United Kingdom because we now have British citizenship, whether or not they reverse that and say all Brits who want to come to the Cayman Islands to live can do so as well without any restrictions, that would be another story, as well. Yeah.
All right, I'll see. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. But I'll keep hammering home the whole issue about driving. And I saw something in the newspapers as well. I haven't been able to read that article yet because, as you know, me and the Caymanian Compass don't necessarily agree on certain things in really, at least this one, about having to pay a subscription fee to access their online newspaper. So I refuse basically to subscribe to it because I believe that all of that stuff should be, free, really. It's news. So, but I see where they are talking about lowering the how can I say it now? There are certain levels when you for DUI in terms of the percentage of alcohol level, where they're looking to reduce that. So that would be great as well. And the other part of that, of course, would be enforcing it as well. But thank you very much for that, and we'll keep hammering it home.
Forget indicators.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello?
Good morning.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes, go right ahead.
Good morning, Cayman.
Good morning.
This is D.L.E. Banks. I was just reminding you all about our nation builders, our seafarers.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our calendars out now, and it's highlighting the women that supported the seamen, and the women are really nation builders. They stayed home and they took care of things, built the houses, and so on. But support us by getting the word out there about the calendars. They're at the Seafarers Association. Don't have the number readily available, but just a shout out to all our seamen. And this year we are celebrating our seamen, and we really owe a lot to our seafarers, and this is the time to just show them a little bit of appreciation by buying up all the calendars that's out there. They make great Christmas.
Okay,
gifts.
what's the price of the calendar?
Only $10.
$10. Okay.
$10.
And the only place that they're available at this point in time is Seafarers. Do any of the members have them that they can be purchased from them as well?
I am getting my hands on some more. I had quite a lot of them, and I got rid of them. Thanks for y'all putting me on that.
Don't use that term "got rid of them." That almost sounds like something that you don't want that you get rid of. Just say you spreading the good word.
Spreading the good word. Thank you so much for that correction. They went fast,
Good. That's good.
And my number is 326-4447.
Repeat it one more time, please.
326-4447.
Great.
And Althea is the lady at the Seafarers Association. Please call her. Like I said, I don't have that number readily available, but it's easy to be found. Just Google it up, please.
And you can also tell them where the Seafarers office is located as well, where their building is.
Yes, it's on Victory Lane, which is right across from the Cayman Islands Brewery.
Right.
And you'll see the building. It has the bridge of a ship up on top, and it's very recognizable. And we would really, really appreciate y'all's support in this time. We didn't have an opportunity to get the calendars last year, but we have them early enough for y'all to be able to put them in their stockings there for Christmas gifts. And it's very historical, how the stories behind it and everything. It's a piece of our history, and we really need to support our seafarers. They're getting up in the years, and their families are sort of dependent now on us like we were dependent on them at one time. So just support our seafarers by buying the calendars and doing anything else that you can do that you know that would help our seafarers' life be easier at these times in their in their life.
Okay.
Y'all support.
Thank you very much for that, and we will continue to mention it on For the Record about the availability of the calendars as well. We're going to grab another caller before we go to our commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
You are doing a very good job. Every morning I get up, I look forward to your program.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to pick up on the person that's calling about the governor. The governor feel like a Caymanian. He should get an honorarium because some people come here and do nothing much, and they Caymanian status. So I salute him. 2020, we look forward to him every morning on the radio, and he work with every party, the PPM. He works with them. He works with Panton, and he's a very nice person. So I want to the Cayman society and us. We want to welcome him here. If you want to stay, I think they should give him an honorarium. This is my suggestion. You don't have to accept it.
Certainly, no. It's a good suggestion. And like I said, there have been some governors who have been extremely popular in the Cayman Islands. One that comes to memory is Mr. Russell, Thomas Russell. Very popular in the Cayman Islands, a people's person. He went around all over the island, a lot of times either by himself, as well, because there were days when governors didn't necessarily have drivers. They drove around, on their own as well. So, there are those who are able to blend in to our society, and especially if they haven't during their tenure, if they haven't shown a tendency to favor one side over the other, one government over the other, one group of people in the society over the other as well, to be welcomed by the people, of the Cayman Islands. And I'm sure that people wouldn't mind, if they chose to retire here in the Cayman Islands, as long as they remain, and they know that they have to remain politically neutral after that. And any other governor that comes on the scene, there can only be one governor at a time. So, if they're a former governor in the Cayman Islands, then they basically, stay quiet as well. So the options are there. Thank you very much for that as well.
Retire and time early,
Yes.
Because I want to stay on the show for the next 10 years. Exercise and drink up your noni and your merengue,
and stay and keep on the bicycle. Yeah, once I'm on the bicycle, I think I'm okay.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Have a nice day. Thanks for the kind comments. As well, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. When we return, the conversation will continue, so please stay tuned.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray, and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
More ways to win big this Christmas. The more you watch, listen, and stream your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win from thousands of prizes. Enter to win the grand prizes of US $10,000 cash, US $5,000 cash, or a Digicel family pack with 4 smartphones and free service for a year. Simply listen to your favorite Christmas carols in D Music, watch movies in Play Go, live sports in SportsMax, or connect with friends in BIP and join BIP Rewards channel for daily prizes. Claim your guaranteed prize every Saturday. Shake to win in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better together this Christmas.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. One of our listeners wanted me to mention the fact that and to stress the importance of persons adhering to the give way sign that are on the roads, and they say that drivers totally ignore the driver who has gotten there first or who has the right of way. And the giveaway sign says, it means exactly what it says. You should give way, you should yield to the other driver who has the right of way. Now, one thing that we need to bear in mind also is in the case of driving, right does not make might. So you can be right, but at the same time, you must do your part to avoid an accident. So, if you have the right of way, don't have it in your mind, I'm going to go irrespective of what, because I have the right of way. This is me. And that person should be stopping. That won't prevent the accident at the end of the day. So you have to use your better judgment also. So right does not make might when it comes to driving as well. And a yield sign says exactly, or give way, it means exactly what it says. And you should not approach a yield sign with the intention of, well, I'm only going to stop if there's a car coming, you still have to approach it cautiously, and you try to, if the visibility is good, you try to look as far back as you can to the traffic that you would be merging with to see where they are, and that will help you to know whether or not you need to give way, and whether or not you need to stop, you need to yield, or you can continue as well. But the point is, folks, that you have to use your smarts. You have to use the gray matter that is on top, in your head when you're driving. It is an extremely, extremely important task. You have your life in your hands when you're out there on the road, but you also have the life of all of those other persons around you, whether they be a pedestrian, whether they be cyclists, or whether they be other drivers, as well. And that is the reason why there are rules of the road as well. We have callers on hold, Ms. Susan. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Billy Simamba here. How are you?
Good morning, Billy. I'm fine. How are you doing? Haven't heard from you in quite a while.
Well, I thought that I should call you back so that we can renew the love affair between you and your viewers as well.
Yes.
Well, OC, I listened with some interest to the two callers who called in to praise the current governor and to say that he's done very well.
Uh-huh.
Now, I love Cayman because we can differ on an issue like that and without being disagreeable.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my experience, OC, with this governor is that he has been very hypocritical in dealing with a number of issues. I don't necessarily disagree that he hasn't done some good, but I think overall, for me, in terms of my own experience, I found him to be very, very hypocritical. I have called a few, over the last few weeks about this matter where I complained against a judge. I am in a position now where I have found out that there are no rules anywhere which govern when you complain against a judge. There are no rules anywhere.
When you say anywhere, you mean in Cayman or in the UK? Or
Well, in Cayman. In
Okay.
other words, like if you want to complain against a judge, according to the Constitution, you go to the Chief Justice. But there are no rules binding the Chief Justice to say this is the procedure he should follow. And I complained to the governor about this. I said, how do you have a system where there are no procedures? The ombudsman has got rules. The different authorities have rules, especially when you are dealing with people from the public.
Mm-hmm,
When people come in, they should know that when this is the form you fill, this is the information you want, and within so many days, we will send this information to the person you complain against, and then they'll respond, and then we'll take it from there.
Yes.
There is nothing like that. The Chief Justice just does whatever he wants. And I brought this to the attention of the governor. And he said, well, he can't do anything about it. I have to go to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. I went to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. They told me they can't do anything about it. You send it to the governor. I have letters from both the governor and the Judicial and Legal Services Commission pointing to each other. And then when I went to the Chief Justice, of course, the Chief Justice also didn't want to answer my questions, and now they are locked in a deadlock between the Ombudsman and the Chief Justice, because the Chief Justice has said, well, look, you should tell this person whether these rules exist, and if they don't exist, what rules do you apply? And the Chief Justice basically has written a 4-page letter to the Ombudsman to say he doesn't have to answer these questions, okay? And to me, in my view, I put that all on the governor. The governor is the one who should say, I'm in charge of good governance. You people can't do this. I'm going to crack my whip. Okay? That is point number one. Point number
Okay,
two.
but how does that affect the separation of powers between the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary as well? Realizing what you say, that in terms of the governor, shouldn't this be something that maybe we should that the Constitutional Commission should be considering as well, so that we have something so important enshrined in our Constitution?
Well, it's a very good question, OC, because there's partly an answer to that and partly there's no answer. The answer to it is this. The governor is the appointing authority for the Chief Justice. So that when you have a problem with the Chief Justice, you go to the governor. There is no other authority under the Constitution where you can go to.
Got you.
And I think in asking the question, it's a pertinent question because the Constitution needs to say that if you have a complaint against the Chief Justice, where do you go to? You should go to a certain body, like the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. But they removed that power from the Judicial and Legal Services Commission so that all you have to do now is to go to the appointing authority. The problem with that is that when you go to the appointing authority will tell you, well, I can't discipline a Chief Justice unless he has done something so bad that I have to remove him. And if you have any complaint which is less, like might not call for removal, then you have nowhere to go.
Wow.
And you are right, OC, that is something that we have to look at. And I'm not just saying this because I have tried this. I've written to him, I've asked him that the Chief Justice should be disciplined on one or two issues. And he has told me, well, I only get involved if this is so serious that the person should be removed. So in other words, anything less than that, there's nobody who can deal with it. So you are very right in asking the question, the Constitutional Commission to do that. But the other point is this. I have filed a complaint. I've now received a response from the RCIPS. I've received a response on the complaint, the criminal complaint I filed against two judges, Ian Kawali and Phillips and St. John Stevens. I've received a response, and they are saying that this is not something that they can assign resources to, and therefore they are closing the file. Now, that I found to be nonsensical, and I'll tell you why. One, you are prosecuting somebody, I won't mention the name, somebody from the BRAC, because you said he said something on the radio, on the social media. Okay, I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, but you've got resources to punish that, to investigate that. You've got resources to investigate a young lady who supposedly held on to a file for too long to defend her son who was being prosecuted. This was from anti-corruption. You had time for that. You had time to prosecute another person who some time back said something on social media against the governor, and you almost prosecuted him. You've got time for that. But when I have given hard documentary evidence, which is showing that one judge has lied, and if anything should be removed from office, you say you've got no time just to go to the people who are mentioned in the 12 emails and ask them to file affidavits to say whether those emails are genuine. Be doing this. But anyway, we are now working on the appeal in my matter. I've filed a skeleton argument. The Attorney General is objecting to... He has filed a preliminary objection to my appeal to say that I should be seeking leave to appeal. I do not think that I need leave to appeal, but he has not objected necessarily to my appeal. So we are waiting for that to be sorted out, and I should have my appeal heard. And I think this matter, in the end, I hope that it will end up in a manner that will result in improving accountability, not just in Chief Justice, but also the governor as well must be more accountable.
Yep, this is extremely important. Extremely important. Billy, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. For that as well. We're going to take a commercial break. We do have several other callers on hold, and one of our listeners reminded me also that another governor who chose to he was an administrator, I think, at the time, Mr. Long, who chose to, late Mr. Long, who chose to reside in the Cayman Islands as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community. a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch roof. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brandsource Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brandsource Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have a phone line is all queued up, so we're going to grab the callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Mr. Connor. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. So it was either late last year or early this year, the alarm was raised that the numbers for the COVID deaths, that they were being doctored, that basically people were being registered as a COVID death, who in fact haven't died from COVID. However, due to self-interest, we ignored those facts, largely on the basis because we were at the time pushing the demand that people get vaccine. Look, people are dying. Look at the deaths. People are dying, take the vaccine. But now it's closer to home, and we're seeing that people are being registered as COVID deaths when they are not, when the cause of death is not COVID, and the professionals tell us this.
Mm-hmm. Did you have an opportunity to listen to Dr. Lee's explanation in relation to that when he was on the show?
I listened, but isn't it interesting that now the fact is that a lot of these persons are only dying from other matters, and they may have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But now the excuse is not get vaccinated because people dying, because it hits closer to home now that, whoa, these numbers are being doctored. And to be honest, I don't want to be too facetious, but I'm afraid to even go to the barber right now, because if this man cuts me with a razor and I bleed out to death and it's discovered that I have coronavirus, he may not be charged for murder because, hey, he had COVID. And again, I'm not being facetious, but it appears to me that it appears to me, Mr. Connor, that we are not only social distancing away from people, we are social distancing away from logic and common sense. Now, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I have my 2 shots. I'm waiting for the booster. I'm going to get that. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. My point is, it seems that logic is nowhere in this conversation. Whatever the intelligentsia says, we must follow. Now, if we think China and Russia is dangerous, we need to check what we're calling democracy here. So, my point again, the numbers are being doctored, and I think we need the truth.
I believe that there are some people who share your views in relation, to that as well. And some people are questioning the level of unity that we have amongst the medical experts, at least government medical experts here in Cayman as well, whether or not they're of one mind and one opinion.
And I agree with you just for a final point, because I want to give other callers a chance to speak. But when we, especially listen to our government officials saying whether it's on climate change or coronavirus, that they're following the science, which science are you talking about? Because you're talking as if science is one big block of knowledge where everybody agrees, and it's not. On climate change, coronavirus, straight down, on everything, there is a divide. But we only hear those who the mainstream media selects us to hear. There are doctors from Harvard and all of those high schools that they disagree on these vaccine mandates and whatever, but you don't hear from them. Again, let truth prevail. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. Thank you very much. Let's grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thanks to you so far. Thank God. I don't have corona, so that look like all we can hear about now. So thank God I not got that. I want to sentiment the same thing that those callers just got off there with. The gentleman before the last one about the law and everything. I mean, it is so contrary because, I mean, that's my opinion. The governor is so contrary to his actions because he can pull out 801 when he wants to do his powers when he wants to. But in my opinion, when it's the interest of Cayman, he not doing his powers.
Well, that's what the Constitution basically says. You know that if when the governor is the UK's representative, and he also will represent the people of the Cayman Islands, but when those two come in conflict with each other, then his interest, his UK's interest, will prevail over the interest of the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, well, I understand that too. But I mean, if you can, you got to use it. You got to use it to the best interest of the country and the people. You know, I mean, not just for international. You know, to whatever your agenda is in my opinion. But and like in the college, they're just talking about the vaccine. I mean, like I heard, someone asked the same question a few days ago. Not in your show, I think it was on Dwayne's show. You know, who regarding to this new variant now that is coming out, that is now out. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I didn't hear we got in Cayman yet. But I mean, it's not just in Africa now. But who's carrying this variant? Because if they unvaccinated, I'm not anti-vax. But if the unvaccinated is not allowed to travel, who's carrying it to the next step? Is it airborne, or is it traveling? But it got to be traveling with somebody because the only vaccinated is allowed to travel now, so it got to be the vaccinated carrying it.
Well, but bear in mind now, there are so many scams that are going on. We saw it happen here in the Cayman Islands on one occasion, where there's false documentation that's out there. So we hope and we trust that people are adhering to the rules, but I don't believe that is what is happening.
That is serious.
Yeah.
I mean, that is very, very serious. I mean, the thing about it, we got these people out there. I mean, there's so much, like the guy said, they're telling you vaccinate, but then we don't know if that is really the solution. I mean, I understand that that's all we got. And I'm so.
That's the advice that's being given. The credible advice, given throughout the world. Vaccinate. That's really. I think that's the one thing that we're hearing loud and clear. Except for when the fake news and stuff like that seeps into the conversation.
But people say Aristotle got two sides. I mean, it's until until we can prove that it's fake too. We don't know if it's fake.
Oh yeah,
and where there's smoke, there's always fire.
In many cases, but there's a lot of misinformation being put out there on social media. There are so many people with various agendas. But I want to thank you very much for that. I'm going to try to grab one more caller before we go to our commercial break, our headline news at 9 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Nancy.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm trying to be good. What I wanted to mention, the lady, the caller just a while ago, made a very good point in indicating that it has to be the vaccinated who is actually allowed to travel, who is carrying around this new variant. Because if they are the only ones who are allowed to travel, and
that we're assuming that, and I would dispute that they're not the only ones that are allowed to travel.
Well, for the majority of cases, since you cannot go to the U.S. right now unless you are vaccinated.
But once you're in the U.S., you can go from state to state.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
But I want to bring it home. We've had a number of vaccinations in a short period of time. Had VAC 1, then you had VAC 2. We're now and VAC 3, which is the booster. The researchers are now working on a vaccine for this new variant. I'm wondering what is the net loss for human beings having to absorb all these vaccinations in such a short period of time. And I haven't heard anybody discussing that. I know when we were school age, we get vaccinated for a number of illness and never look back at that in years. But now in less than, I would suggest, about 12 months, we've been asked to take more than 3 vaccinations.
Yeah.
What is the impact on the human body in such a short period of time? And would it seem as if we're going to be vaxxed out in a short period of time? Because in a while, I believe the body is not going to respond to any vaccination.
And the thing is that we won't. Probably it'll be several years down the line before we know the real and true impact of it. Yeah,
exactly. And the thing is, when this happens and our body is not responding to vaccination, you're talking about other illnesses that we can't even fight. So this is just something I would like us to consider, and I don't know if we can do anything from this end, because that probably has to do with the researchers and and telling us what impact it would have. And as you said, it could be some 10, 20 years down the road, and the loss will be the damage would be already done.
Yeah. But it's a extremely important question, and one that they may need to delve in as well. Caller, I want to thank you very much for that as well. Very, very, very sharp observations and comments as well. Folks, top of the hour, headline news, 9 o'clock. When we return, the conversation will continue, so please stay tuned.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported 161 positive cases of COVID-19 on Tuesday, bringing the total number of active cases to just under 4,000. More than 3,900 people were in isolation as of 8 a.m. on Tuesday, with 20 people in the hospital. Pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein's longtime pilot has testified at the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell that he flew VIPs to luxury locations worldwide. Larry Vysotsky, the first witness in her sex trafficking trial, recalled flying Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and Kevin Spacey. Ms. Maxwell denies the charges and says she is being used as a scapegoat for Epstein, who died in prison in 2019. But prosecutors argue the pair were partners in crime and sex abuse. And CNN star Chris Cuomo has been suspended indefinitely over help he gave his ex-New York governor brother while he was battling sex abuse allegations. The decision came after the New York Attorney General released new documents that showed the extent of his work for his older sibling, Andrew Cuomo. CNN said the documents showed a, quote, greater level of involvement in his brother's efforts than we previously knew. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio K-Man on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio K-Man app or log on to our website, radiokman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio K-Man.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Lots of conversations taking place this morning. On the phone, we have 3 callers queued up, so we're going to ask everyone to please be as brief as possible. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
I am fine, OC, but I have a question, and it's bothering me.
Okay.
I want to find out, okay, well, I guess this is for record because you heard me saying that I am traveling in December. But now I thought it was too good to be true that when we come back, we don't have to quarantine. But I'm hearing something that is worse for me than quarantining, and I don't really see no sense in it because I had the 3 vaccines. Why are you doing all of this? And then the booster was a worse one for me. Plus, I went yesterday again and take the flu shot. So to me, it is foolishness because I'm understanding now, okay, I have to go do the PC test to leave here on the 18th. Right?
Okay. And remember now, the Premier also said to you that actually you could use the lateral flow test as well. You didn't necessarily have to do the PCR.
No, but I don't want to do that because I afraid I damage myself. I go in hospital. I got appointment for the 16th. Anyway, to cut a long story short now. But then, okay, and I understand that when I'm coming back from Tampa, I have to do it there.
Right.
But then I understand when I get here again, I have to do it 3 more times. And then you have to go pay the $25. And I don't work in. I don't work. I work for Walker & Company, but not a lawyer. I'm a law firm that pay money. I don't have no money. We're surviving off a bill of real pension. And sometimes I be robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then I understand that you can't do the one that you were just saying yourself.
Lateral flow?
They say it have to be from HSA, Crystal Thomason, or 2 other facilities at the time because somebody just come back from that day before yesterday. And then they say Cynical don't pay for it. So where I can get the $75? And then why I'm questioning, why 3 times? Because that test bothers my throat and it bothers my nose because I might be look big and tough. But I have sensitive skin because when I get that in September last year, that they were going to admit me in the hospital.
So you think that that's going overboard in terms of requiring those, when you return, those 3? Yeah.
And the thing burns my nose for days because I got witness the nurses on one. They had to give me a spot to put on my nose for 5 days straight. They were like, I cut my nose and put a piece of Scotch bonnet in it.
Wow.
It had my throat hoarse up. I was hoarser then than when I was out hollering for the Premier, campaigning for him that I got cut out. So what sense that make if you're taking all these things and you still got to go through all of this foolishness?
Well, hopefully that before you return, the policy may change in regards to that. So we hope that occurs as well. That by the time you're ready to return to the Cayman Islands, you won't be required to do 3 lateral flow tests at a cost of 25 CI. 25. Well, some places I'm made to understand are charging 25 US, which is $20.50 CI, I believe, and then there are others who are charging 25 CI as well. So I want to thank that caller for that and ask her to keep us posted in terms of what is happening as well. Let's grab a next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. That person has their radio up, Ms. Susan. I'm hearing feedback. Good morning, Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Yes, sir. In concern with the 2 previous callers after Mr. Belika, I kind of lost and confused right now when it comes to what that man just said, because here is a judge passing judgment or making rules as they go along the way, or the man don't feel that it was fair, the treatment he's been getting from the Attorney General and everybody that he turned to trying to get justice or try to understand what the law says. And I just revealed there's nothing in the law, okay? Government's here in the interest of the people and the crown, Her Majesty. You understand? And I realize that he's cherry picking to things that beneficial to Her Majesty and them government, because our people had went against the same-sex thing. And that was the interest of the people where he enshrined on our human rights and our Christian belief. But now it's something now that this one individual is trying to fight and get fair justice and outcome. And he can't step in now and try to put something or say, okay, look, being that there's nothing in the law, because there wasn't nothing in the law pertaining to what he did when it comes to the same-sex thing. But all of a sudden now something there like this that would make a sitting judge look bad. That judge should be suspended and investigated, because I don't see where.
But we have to bear in mind, though, that this is a personal, to a certain extent, a personal case that's being brought by an individual against the judge. So it's not. It's one of those things where he has made a report to the police now, and he's pointed out that the police have said basically that they don't have the resources or something like that to be able to deal with it. But there is no what how can I put this? It's a complaint that is being made. The evidentiary part of it has to be resolved.
Yeah, but see what you just said, that he made a complaint to the police, and the police tell him they don't have no resources. There's only one entity in this country that gets more budget resource than the police department. There's not no other one. They get. You're gonna tell me no? I come and reported there had been somebody in my family been murdered or molested or raped or something like that, and you're gonna tell me no that an excuse you give up every case supposed to be investigated regardless of what you need to find a resource. You need every year you hiring. You're not gonna tell me that over the period of time that you're hiring and you get to the point where okay, this person is a good qualified candidate to try put into a CID program to groom them for the future. That okay, where we lacking. So that means the chief of police not structure in the department, right? That what that would mean. And
well, my suggestion was going to be Billy, of course, is cognizant of the time that we have on the show, so he didn't want to prolong it too much. But my suggestion would have been to, if the police in any way felt that they were being put in any sort of compromising position, then you do what other overseas territories have done in other countries. You bring someone in from the outside to look into it. And
So it's costing that man. That man has spent countless, thank God.
No, it wouldn't cost him to bring, the police would bring someone from the outside to investigate it. No, it wouldn't cost him.
No, well, they're not going to do that because it's literally fighting the same entity that's paying them. They're fighting the government. You understand? Because the government, the judge is there on behalf of this country. So at the end of the day, they're not going to go against that. I don't agree in this country. They're coming in like the United States. They're picking whatever things that they want fight, they want fight. And that should have been so equal and fairness right across the board.
I don't think we know enough about the particular case that we will want to pass judgment. Billy has tried to keep us up to speed and to try to bring as much clarity, to the issue. But I don't think that we want to point the fingers at anyone, in terms of the judiciary at this point in time, because we really don't know what the facts are.
No, see, we have to, because Mr. Bill has been preaching this for a while.
But we don't know what the facts are in it.
We may not know the entire detail of it, but at the end he's been giving us particular.
And what he's been trying to point out to us really is that the system that we have in place is not working. There are, in certain instances, there are no proper procedures, either written or otherwise, for some of these things to move forward as well. So Billy has two issues. One in relation to his complaint. The other one is also in relation to the process.
Okay. I get what you're saying, but it isn't fair and transparent in this country.
Okay.
And until when it affects somebody else by stature, that's when they go come to light.
True.
Thank you for the time and all the things I want to talk to you, but I'm not going to take up more of your time today. I'll call back.
Okay, take care. Thanks again. Please be safe as well. Next caller, good morning. Welcome. No callers at this point in time. Okay, the one topic that I wanted to get into was the announcement. Two things I want to talk about. I want to talk about because I didn't because of other commitments, I didn't get a chance to listen to all of the debate in our parliament. But it seems as if the Speaker, in calling for members to debate, the response appears to not have been given on time in terms of the person standing up to be acknowledged to speak, and the debate on the budget presentation was curtailed. The article in the paper says that it seems as if the Deputy Premier, Minister of Finance, wasn't ready really for his wrap-up as well. He was caught by surprise, unawares, in terms of the decision. And as a result, then the Parliament was adjourned until today. And I want to look at some of the issues, look at Erskine May about the role of the Speaker, the concept of neutrality of the Speaker, despite the fact that in many instances the Speaker is usually chosen, especially in the UK, from amongst the governing party, and to talk about representation in the Cayman Islands, because when your elected representative is curtailed from speaking because of what some may consider to be trivial, then that affects you because your voice is not being heard out there, and whether or not there should be more flexibility as far as debate in the Parliament is concerned. The role of the Speaker we want to look at as well. But the other issue has to do with former Minister for Health, Dwayne Seymour, moving over to the PAC government. And if you watched and listened to the meeting last night, the broadcast of it, they were confusing, there were mixed signals along the way. Some of those mixed signals include the fact that you almost got the impression that if Mr. Seymour didn't join the PAC, he would get nothing for Bordentown East, because the emphasis was, now you will get things for Bordentown East. As a matter of fact, we even have, things in the budget that you wanted, the school halls, expansion of the school halls there as well. The other observation that I see people have made is that at one point in time, the PAC government was said, we have this covered. So now some people are saying there's an admission now that they need help because there's so much work to do. Seems as if the opposition is taking this quite calmly, literal, because not a whole lot that they can do about it. And this again goes back to some conversations that Dr. McPhail and I have had, and one of the points that Dr. McPhail early on, even before the elections, talk about discipline, party discipline, and all of those other things, the lack of those things as well. But it seems as if the opposition is taking this quite calm. We still don't know what the reasons are for it. I was trying to analyze, and I said, well, should I read into anything in relation to those politicians who were at the meeting and those who were not at the meeting? Does that say anything? Does that send any sort of message as well? Now, those of you who may question the fact that, here we have a person who was a minister and now he's going to be a councillor, that is not an unusual situation. This may not be exactly the same situation, but just recently in St. Lucia, you had a gentleman, Stephenson King, who was the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. He was replaced as prime minister. He then campaigned in the next election as an independent. He left the party. He has now, and he was offered a ministerial position in the new government, the opposition, the government that was in opposition to his party at the time. He said that he had other things to complete to do, so he did not want to take up ministerial responsibility at that point in time. Since then, he has taken up ministerial responsibility. So here we have someone going from prime minister to a ministerial position, also in an opposition with an opposition party. So it is not unusual, for that to happen, even though some may question, and there are some people who are already of the belief that at some point in time that we will see him, that is Dwayne Seymour, in a ministerial position as well. So all I can say is watch this space, or watch that space, or watch that road, that either paved road or marl road or pothole road, whatever. Watch all of those spaces at the end of the day, because I don't believe that this scenario has fully played out yet. Just my views, folks. We're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brandsource Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brandsource Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Oh no. You have a problem? How do you keep your exercise program going without leaving your home? Well, we have the answer. Get the new Desk Cycle 2 Pedal Exerciser. Yes, lose weight, keep fit, and stay healthy with your Desk Cycle. Use it while sitting at your desk, reading a book, or on the phone. Keep exercising. Thousands around the world have benefited from the Desk Cycle. Read their testimonials on Amazon, where the Desk Cycle is one of the highest rated products. It's whisper, quiet, lightweight, durable, 8 resistance levels. Will track your progress, speed, calories, and distance. This is the answer when you have to be at home or when you just don't want to be out anywhere. This is the way. Email deskcycleKman@gmail.com or call 326-3726. Price is CI $249. Buy 2 and get them for $199 each.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We do have a caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning, O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fantastic.
Great.
Anyway, I was listening to the meeting last night in Buttontown, and I tell you, it was such a great meeting, and everybody spoke so well of Mr. Seymour as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And especially Miss Julia O'Connor and the Premier, and also my great friend, Mr. Brian. They all spoke very well of him, and I would just like to, congratulate him on his new post as well, and I hope that he will make a difference in that party as well. So.
Okay. What's his new post? I'm not sure that because I heard that he's going to assist the Minister for Tourism and Transport, and then he's also going to be assisting the Minister with responsibility for housing as well.
Yes, exactly. And I'm sorry for mentioning the post, but anyway.
Do you think he'll become a minister? Do you wish for him to become a minister at some point in time during this tenure, this period?
I beg your pardon?
I said, would you like to see him become a minister as well?
Of course.
Uh-huh.
I never met the gentleman before, but I know that he did some great deeds for this country.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just would like to, pass on that word on to him as well that, I'm so happy to know that he had decided last night that, to take up, their request, so thank God that, I hope that, things will be much better there now.
Mm-hmm. So you did you watch it last night, you said? You watched it?
Yes, I listened to it. Yes,
did you get the impression that the decision was already made, despite the fact that a call was made to the public out there by applause or whatever to acknowledge whether or not they wanted him to go to the other side? Did you get the impression, based on even the opening remarks that were made, that this was a fait accompli already a foregone conclusion?
Well, to be truthful with you, O.C., I didn't hear anything about it until they announced it on the radio yesterday.
No, I'm talking about during the course of the meeting. When there was a chair, MC for the meeting, and he then introduced the Member of Parliament, Mr. Seymour, and then Mr. Seymour got into talking. But it wasn't long after he started talking that even before he announced or asked the question that we knew exactly where he was going with this.
Okay.
I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you just want to congratulate the Minister Seymour for going over to the other side. So thank you very much for that.
My name is Presley Deegan, and I would just like to congratulate him, in regards to that meeting last night as well.
Got you. Okay, thank you very much for that. Any more calls, Ms. Susan? Okay, so I was talking earlier. Well, let me read this first because this one is extremely important. This actually came in on from last week. The person says, "Good morning. Unless Caymanians say no to this crazy plan to increase the population artificially by mass importation of foreigners, their culture will certainly die. It is impossible for any people to preserve their culture if they are grossly outnumbered, and no amount of teaching their youth on cultural matters will serve to reverse the process of cultural destruction. We must understand that while the teaching and celebrating of our culture is an important aspect of cultural preservation, culture is essentially something which is experienced. And I'm going to just pause there for a second. And some call culture something as being learned behavior. It's something that you learn behavior as well. So the person says that culture is essentially something which is experienced. Quite how a Caymanian child can experience Caymanian culture on a daily basis when he or she is outnumbered by persons of other cultures 10 to 1 is beyond me. The person says, I do wish our elected leaders and others in our society who claim to love Caymanian culture begin to recognize the inevitable consequence that the present situation presents. At the moment, it is as if they are in a state of denial. At the moment, as a people, Caymanians are on a course of cultural self-destruction. Don't they realize this? Apparently not. So I want to thank that listener for sharing that with us. And unfortunately, it was sent in on Friday. I was only able to read it today. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well, thanks. I don't know what to comment on what's happening with the politics thing. As a matter of fact, I tried to get onto your program the other day when you went off, when you had to go off to the LA, and I caught a little part of it where the deputy was inviting that particular minister or that particular person to come over and help. I didn't expect it to evolve into this kind of thing, but so be it. And then I caught a little bit of the thing last night. So the Bordentown East people have spoken, so I think we should respect it. And people are my people, Caymanian.
Have they spoken? Have they?
Well, that's what I
even if there were 600 persons at that meeting last night, isn't Bordentown East one of the largest constituents on the island?
Yeah, well, be that as it may. I mean, I can only form my own opinion.
Okay.
And I think that what you just read there, people are so, let me go back a little bit. When the other people were in power, the PPM, and of course I was a founder member, but I resigned. But anyway, that is beside the point. Everybody say, oh, they're not doing nothing. Now you have the PAC government, and they say, oh, they're not doing nothing wrong. I'll lend them back. I mean, my Caymanian people are so irrational sometimes that they don't stop to think. And that's not the reason for me calling. I was trying to get on, like I said the other day, but because when I called some days before that, I had asked if I could give out a few dates of the happenings of the Seafarers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, since that time, I have been informed by the persons that be. As a matter of fact, Mr. Loxley, I think, is having a meeting, or he's hosting a show tomorrow about it. But the December 7th and 21st has been cancelled. So Mr. Loxley will bring people up to date about that tomorrow. Okay. But I just wanted to remind people of the Coast Guard's party that they're having for the Seafarers tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, they called yesterday evening and asked if we could be there for 12 or 12:30 because the governor would be arriving at 1. So the revised time is 12 o'clock. And then, of course, the big annual raffle that we always have on the first Saturday of each December, which is the 4th, this coming Saturday. By the way, have you got your tickets yet?
No, I haven't.
I'd like to inform, or ask, rather not inform, but ask all people who have books to sell and have sold most of them, if they could bring them in by the latest tomorrow.
Okay.
So we can have the accountants verify the numbers and all that before we do the raffle.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the first prize is $5,000. The second prize is $3,000. The third prize is $1,000, and we have 5 consolation prizes of $1,000 each.
Okay, and the tickets they can be obtained at the office as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But if you'd like, I could bring some for you. Just give me a shout.
Yeah.
On
I can stop. I'll stop by there definitely.
Okay. So that's technically all I wanted to say. But I refrain from saying anything more about the politics.
Yeah.
People are so funny.
Well, I don't believe we've heard the last of it yet. I suspect that there's more to come because I am told that what occurred last night was in the works for quite a long time, but it took a little bit of shaking.
As a layman, when I heard Chris Saunders give the invitation to that particular person, I, as a layman, did not get the impression that he was in any way telling him to come over. He was just saying, in my own perspective that I got, that when John was a minister, he told Saunders, you can't get nothing done unless you come over to government side. And this is exactly what Saunders did. But I mean, it didn't sound like he was invited. I think it was just a gesture that he afforded the person. But maybe you're right. If it has been in the works for a long time, then maybe he had a reason why he did it. But either than me, like you say, we haven't heard the end of it. But my concentration is the Seafarers, and we have this big night coming up on Saturday night, and then of course Friday. The Coast Guard, I have to say very, very big thank you to them for hosting the Seafarers. And they said they're going to have all kind of seafoods and all of the local cuisine from Cayman that we're used to. So it'll be a cultural day too. And the governor will be in attendance. He'll be there at 1 o'clock. So persons who have invitation, it's by invitation only, by the way. And people who we've called and we have invitations to them. If they haven't picked them up, they can get them at the gate.
Got you.
And it's down at the bottom of where the Coast Guard is. They're down at the bottom of Hearst Road.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right, Colin, I want to thank you very much for that. We're 5 minutes over from our commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Study local and go far this spring. Want to start your bachelor's or associate degree or just need a few classes to complete? Registration is now open for spring classes at UCCI. Scholarships are available for the spring semester, but you need to act now to meet the deadlines. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky to enroll now. Classes begin January 10th. Enroll by December 1st for a chance to win an iPad or a laptop.
The Ministry of Education invites eligible Caymanians to apply for overseas government scholarships for the 2022-2023 academic year. To apply for an overseas government scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship programs, please visit the recently upgraded scholarship application portal at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Monday, 31st of January, 2022.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have callers on hold, so let's go straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I can't complain. I too want to say my congratulations to John for USA moving over. We need to work together. We don't need to fight against each other. That's the whole long and short of it.
True.
And you might say, well, Kenneth or Minister Brian, let me put it that way, and Chris Saunders want help or need help or whatever else. One person can't do it alone. When you would say Jim Borden was, you would say there, that time frame, things were not as hard or as much as it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And I know from when I was working with planning, they had a lot of work. I mean, it was a lot of, and it's even double now the work, or triple the work in 15 years. So I can just imagine what workload they have as a minister. Yeah, they have the responsibility for X, Y, and Z, but how efficient and how prudent can they be to get it all done, you would say, within, let's say, one year to work at housing. Let me use housing as an example. The other part of that ministry then would be left undone.
But you recognize that really the role of ministers and members of cabinet really is to develop policy and everything else. And you spoke about your tenure within planning and the hard work that you've done. That is where the hard work takes place. Not saying that the responsibility of ministers and cabinet members isn't high as well, but the heavy lifting takes place at the lower levels.
Yes, that is so. That is so. But you've been in the position of, you would say, top of a department. Where are you going to liaise with? It's not the ministers. So each department that that he's under or is under him is hearing from him, and he hearing from them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes he has to work side by side with that department in order to get the things that need to be done.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. To a certain extent, yeah. How many councillors do we have in place there now? How many councillors?
I am not sure. Mm. I know it's I would say 2 that I know of. I think it's Miss Heather and Mr. Rankin.
Right, because the other the deputy speaker is not a councillor. Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. He's a minister.
No, the deputy speaker is she's just a deputy speaker.
Oh yes. That's Miss Wilkes.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's one of those 2.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, okay.
I mean, John has experience in. He's been a minister for 2 terms.
Mm-hmm.
He's been elected for 3. So I mean, he does have experience.
So do you believe that if he hadn't gone over to the other side, that Borden Town East would not get anything?
I don't think that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because based on...
Because that was articulated quite often last night, that you come over to the side and you're going to get things done. Here's what we've already done. We have the school hall that is being expanded and more to be announced.
Yeah, but that was already said that there was in the budget for it. So it's not that if he didn't come over, that things wouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean, you listened to the speeches last night?
Yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I did.
Okay, go.
I listened and watched it.
You may want to replay some of it then.
I heard what everyone said. And the monies for the school hall
Not just talking about the school hall. We know that was in the budget, but mention was made of that as well. That they knew that he wanted. He was a proponent of expanded, school hall, and he mentioned it. He mentioned it himself. He even pointed out the fact that it can't hold more than 50 persons, and any more than 50, you have to have your legs out the door.
16, you would hang your leg out the door.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
I mean, he it's politics at its best.
Exactly.
Let me put it that way.
That's what it is.
And there are probably more to go over, I would say.
Well, there's more. This hasn't played out fully yet. Caller, I want to thank you very much. I'm going to ask you to leave us there. I'm going to try to grab another caller before we go to the commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. I can't complain. Mr. O.C., you were 2 minutes fast before the break now. Mr. O.C., first of all, now, right, last week we had the progressives and the former Minister of Health on the show, right? I always observe carefully and thoroughly, right? And first of all, Mr. O.C., and I lose no night rest or insomnia for politics, for our politicians.
Yeah.
Right? Because nobody feeding me, you understand? So, Mr. O.C., first of all, now, I tried to detect, right, the body language, right, plain sight, rudimentary mirror line. Right? I can see that. And modern history, right, with the saga, the great Trump just read with the Speaker of the House, Bush, right, the PNP alliance formed fast, right, and their motto was for the love of country. So that surprised me, or new to me. Okay? So, Mr. O.C., like the point I made, the landmark work, I can see that speak clear like a whistle. Right? And how we see it now, right? Everybody flexing and exercising the Constitution, right? Right? That's the primitive way of communication. Now is the observe of it. So, carefully, right? I listen to the speech carefully. I can see, I can hear in the background. You know about politics. Yeah. So, and although I hear no one mentioned Herb, not the Herb thing, right? To them, that petty. But the whole world recognizes a norm and moving forward. And we're supposed to I can finally finish now. Right? The trade with islands, with Antilles Islands, Barbados. You're aware of their public now, right? You're aware of that. Right?
Yeah. And I noticed that we have not seen any congratulations coming from the Cayman Islands to the Prime Minister or the people of Barbados, congratulating them on their move to Republican status. Now, whether or not that is because we are still a British overseas territory and because of our loyalty to the monarch, that I would say that not because we're an overseas territory and because of our loyalty to the monarch, that we can't go ahead and congratulate them as well for what they've done. We've seen Prince Charles go over there for the occasion as well, and I want to talk more about that too, because he even went on to apologize for slavery as well, and that's another another topic for discussion. But I hope that the government of the Cayman Islands will publicly congratulate and send a message to the Prime Minister of Barbados congratulating them. And I'm saying this, it should not be coming from the Speaker of our Parliament. It should be coming from our political leaders, not the Speaker. When it has something to do with a Parliament, then fine, that is the Speaker's role. But the Speaker in the Cayman Islands is not our head of state, and it should be coming from our head of state. Sorry for that interruption, but I got a good chance to slip that in there.
So, 1 more minute now. I right, talk about the Speaker of the House, right, with the charade, right? Every senior civil servants and politician will issue a credit card, right? And that without proportion. And I'm glad you mentioned, though, the acknowledgement with the Bayesian, right? Respect you. Right? That they call self-determination. And it should keep it that, of the clauses of it, right? Respect you.
Okay.
Right, it's sovereign or not.
Thank you very much. You take care. Please be safe as well. Folks, last commercial break. When we return, we probably have about 10 minutes left, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
we think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed. That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're in the last leg of the show. We have about 10 minutes left and we have 4 callers queued up. So we're going to ask each caller to please be as brief as possible. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning.
Yeah. I just heard the dialogue you had with the last caller, and you made reference about us congratulating Barbados in the move they did. And I don't see no reason why we shouldn't, because I saw that the Prince was there, and I was surprised in the speech that he made. He said, he even, I wouldn't say accused, but he made reference to the fact that the stain, in his opinion, that had been left on the British Empire because of slavery. That was the direction he went with his speech. So I don't see nothing wrong with us congratulating
but it happened. It happened yesterday. Why haven't we already done so? This took place yesterday.
We should have, and we know that it was going to happen. So that should have been prepared, and that should have been sent. That would have been there during the ceremony. And if we, if there was somewhere we could have read that there, supporting them would have been a good thing.
Yes.
So I'm not sure why, but I noticed that the only.
And in respect to all the Bajans that we have living here in Cayman as well.
Right, and the only time I noticed that we make reference to those Caribbean islands is when they want to justify an argument, a dialogue that they have going on at that particular time.
Yeah, or to point out that we're better than they are.
Right. So yeah, that should have been made. That should have been sent there before while the ceremony was actually taking place. That should have been a part of the ceremony.
Yeah, that should be part of a press release. We should see it coming from. Yeah.
Well, I don't think now that they should do it now at all. Because then it looked like you holding their foot to the fire. All right, our guys should be back in office today.
Take care. We need to talk about Saturday morning as well.
Yeah. I spoke briefly to her.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, cool.
Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Connor. How are you?
I'm good. Morning. How are you?
I want to congratulate John, but I want to speak about something completely different. What I just found out, I've been going to this place just about every couple of mornings, pick up 2 eggs and toast and some bacon. Was $4.50. $5.50, and now today I went there before, $7.50 of the same identical thing. 2 eggs, bacon, and toast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe the government has indicated that they're going to be creating some sort of consumer protection agency as well, and that is good news.
Man, that's ridiculous, Connor. Really and truly. From $5.50 to $7.50. It's unbelievable.
And did you question it and ask them why?
I asked, but nobody can answer you. I'm just to collect the money, but they can't answer no questions.
Okay.
All I done, I told them, I said, you know what you do? Even if you had them on the stove, I would tell them, forget about it. Leave them right there because I'm not paying for them.
Exactly. That's what I would suggest. Shop around and look for the better price. I want to thank that caller as well. Last caller for the morning. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
What's the how you doing, man?
I'm fine. Morning. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm okay. I just want to say that I watched the ceremony in Barbados, and it brought me right back to when I was up there, man, with that march, and man, oh Lord, man, that made me feel young again. Like when I was up there, marching. That's where I trained. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad to know. I'm noticing now that a lot of the countries are getting female for presidents, and stuff like that. Even the lady there, I'm glad to see that it's a woman now, being a prime minister and presidents and stuff.
Well, Sandra Mason, Sandra Mason, who was the former Governor General of Barbados, she has now transitioned over, and that was approved by the Parliament. She has now transitioned, and she is the first president of the Republic of Barbados.
Barbados, yeah. And Honduras, too, last Sunday.
Right, yeah.
Xiomara Castro,
Yeah.
Like I said, I knew them, her husband, quite well. Because when he came here, I drove him up and down, and the other presidents. But I think the women are more firm, and I don't think that they can be, you can't corrupt them too easy, I guess. But I guess they all get their coaches from their husbands, and most of the husbands are ex-presidents.
You have some women out there that are much stronger than their husbands, much stronger than men.
Yeah. I agree with that, and I'm glad to see that. I don't know now when the Queen passes on. God bless her soul. Now we'll have a king, isn't that correct?
Well, the heir apparent in waiting is Prince Charles.
Yeah, so we won't have a king. We won't have a queen anymore. So we always remember Mr. Carl Nixon when he said, "God save the king, the queen."
Okay, Caller, I want to thank you very much for that. One of our listeners has pointed out also that Miss Cather Wilkes, she may be a counselor with finance and also with education. So I stand to be corrected there as well. And, of course, you have Mr. Isaac Rankin, and then we have Miss Heather Borden as well. So, folks, let's go over to Barbados. A big shout-out to the people of Barbados. And the Guardian newspaper in the UK, one of the, I must say, considered to be a liberal newspaper, one that exists based on contributions that their readers make to the newspaper. But what they don't do is they don't cut you off. They don't stop you from accessing their website if you don't subscribe, unlike some that we have here in the Cayman Islands. So the article, it says, praise for Prince Charles after historic slavery condemnation. The Prince of Wales' acknowledgement of the appalling atrocity of slavery that forever stains our history as Barbados became a republic was brave, historic, and the start of a grown-up conversation led by a future king, equality campaigners have said. Uttering the words, his mother, the Queen, would be constitutionally constrained from saying Prince Charles's speech at the ceremony to replace the monarch as head of state in the island nation did not demur from reflecting on the quote, darkest days of our past, close of quotes, as he looked to a bright future for Barbadians. Slavery is a tricky subject for the royal family, with recent calls for the Queen to apologize and for the UK to make reparations for the huge wealth the UK reaped through the inhumanity of the Atlantic slave trade. Successive monarchs supported or made money from it during the 17th and 18th centuries. Lord Woolley, the founder and director of Operation Black Vote, who attended Tuesday's ceremony as the only black Barbadian in the House of Lords, that's the House of Lords in the UK, and a descendant of an enslaved African, said of the speech, "It was a very brave statement." He's quoted as saying, Prince Charles being here, saying, "We've had a very dark past, but Barbados has a very bright future," is the start of a grown-up conversation which is being led by a future king. It enabled us to acknowledge at the very highest level the dark and tragic past from which the nation was born. But yesterday marked the rebirth of a new nation. The subject of slavery was not just tricky for the royal family, he said. It's tricky for the UK. And that's why him coming out and saying what is actually the blinding obvious moves the debate to say we urgently need an adult conversation about the uncomfortable truths and on how the past still influences the present in systemic inequalities that were predicated on exploitation. He's quoted as saying, "I heard Barbadians say, 'You hear this white man? You hear this future king telling some truths?' While some of the UK may not like Charles's words," Woodley said, "if you're black and many others, they will say it is the right thing to do at the right time." The CEO of one of the UK trusts is quoted as saying, "For Prince Charles to speak so frankly about slavery is actually historic." With the Queen reportedly having offered an understanding of Black Lives Matter taken together, that is the royal family given a national lead on both current and historical aspects of the international dialogue on racial equality and Britain's place in the world. She has no doubt, she said, that the decision emanated from the Queen. So what they're saying here is that the decision for Prince Charles to say what he said, that emanated from the Queen. The article goes on to say, with the Prince one step removed constitutionally from his mother, Charles can say what she can't, said the managing editor of one of the magazines. Clearly, it is a contentious issue, one that couldn't be avoided under the circumstances, so it had to be addressed. But obviously, addressing it leads to other things, such as calls for apologies and reparations, as well. The article goes on to say that the Queen has faced several calls to apologize for her forebearers, while Jamaica has recently said it will demand compensation, possibly seeking billions of pounds in reparations. How far back do you apologize needs to go? How many forebearers must you apologize for as well? The article ends by saying that it was said that it was difficult to recall a speech in which the Queen had addressed the issue of slavery so directly. I would be amazed if she ever went near it. So, again, kudos to Barbados, and it looks like Prince Charles may bring another dimension to the throne when he ascends to it as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to where they charge you, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want, or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. John Sterling, Dwayne Mikes at 12:15 for Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands that we hope will soon be like Barbados.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brandsource Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people.